What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Welcome to the semi-final of the Champions Trophy. Today, the Phoenix taking on the Wanderers, and we'll be looking to carry on where we left off last time, which was with a big win in the... No, we didn't have a big win. We only won 1-0, I think. No, it was 3-2. What am I saying? I don't know. But anyway, we are playing well. We've started well, and that is the absolute perfect start in this semi-final, boys. We get the goal with just 3 minutes gone, and it is the replacement, Vinny Leah, who has scored it. Finkler sent me a message, sent me an email, said he was not feeling up for this game, so Vinny Leah has come in. It's his first goal in the Champions Trophy, and what a way to start. We will definitely take that, and early pressure in the semi-final is absolutely key. Now, both these teams were in action on the weekend. For those who do not know, the A-League season has now started. Both teams actually coming up with a loss. Western Sydney a little bit heavier than the Phoenix. The Sydney derby was on, so Western Sydney playing Sydney FC. And as I said, it was a very heavy defeat, 4-0 to the Sky Blues in that one there. So that is a big loss, especially in the first game as well. You know, you want that momentum, and Western Sydney do not have that now. The Phoenix lost 1-0 to Melbourne City at home. Which is, you know, it's not the greatest start of the season, especially with all these new acquisitions that have been brought in. Saying that, a few players, or quite a few key players are missing due to All Whites and international duties. So, you know, I guess you can't be too concerned. It is hard to judge how the team will go when it was missing Costa Barbarosa's the man on the ball now. I believe both defenders, both Tom Doyle and Louis Fenton, were both missing. I'm just trying to think who else. Durante was missing. Glenn Moss was still there. I don't know why he hasn't been picked for international duty. He's not that great anymore. But someone who is great and probably should get a call up to the national team after this performance so far is Vinny Leah. Guy Finkler, you should not have taken this game off, son. It is going to be very hard for you to get back into the side for the final. And that comes, I guess, to my next point, is that, you know, when you're playing in a game like this, you're playing a semi-final, and a player, you know, for whatever reason can't play. You know, he's injured, he's sick, he's fatigued, and then you go out and you have someone, you know, his replacement, the guy who replaces him, Vinny Leah, having an absolute stellar of a game. You know, if Finkler is back for next week, do you play him? That's the I guess the you know, the selection headache that you are left with. You know, do you play a guy? Do you take a guy off who played so well in the semi-final? He's come in because someone else is obviously unavailable. You know, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Personally, myself, you know, if Finkler doesn't think he's up and fit for this game, and, you know, he's missed out. Vinny Leah scored 2 goals already. He's obviously on a hat-trick. You know, it is very hard to drop the other fella. And Western Sydney, is this a replay of the weekend, boys? Because the Phoenix, they're up 3-0. Roy Krishna getting that one, and we haven't even had half an hour here, and already up 3-0. Krishna's 5th goal in the Champions Trophy. He is going to be absolutely key for us in the regular season. I was going to say if we get that far, but we just need to make sure he stays fit. Western Sydney, they have got to go back to the drawing board big time. They are all over the place, 6s and 7s at defence. It has been some very good passing into play from the Phoenix, which hopefully we will see, as I said, in the regular season. And hopefully we'll see the Phoenix, you know, the actual Phoenix, shall we say, not the virtual Phoenix, going and doing a similar kind of thing in this A-League season. So, oh my God, Glenn Moss having another shocker. That is the one position that I do kind of want to replace. You know, is the goalkeeper. I did talk about, in I think episode 1, getting, you know, some reinforcements, some new talent, and who to sign. And we did get, you know, some good ones, got some not so good ones. Someone said sign Barisha, but the way that Krishna has been playing in this preseason tournament, we do not need another striker. He has been on absolute fires. 5 goals, remember, in 4 games. I don't think he's actually picked up a hat-trick. I think he's got a couple of braces. So when he's been good, he's been really good. And other times he's just slipped away just a little bit. So we're not going to need another centre mid either, because Vinny Leah has come in, and he will be very hard to be left out of either the final if we do go and make it, which you'd imagine we would at the stage of the game we are at now. But even the first game of the regular season, it will be very hard to keep him out. how that is going to go and affect the team. We will have to wait and see. Remember, McGlinchey is still out with injury, so that could change things around. Possibly do, what the Phoenix did last year, which was play a false nine. Potentially Finkler could sit in there. Krishna out to the left wing. Barbarosis on the right wing. And then keeping that three in the midfield of Bolavasia, Alex Rodriguez, and Vinny Leah, who has played so well, as we just talked about in this game here. And it could get worse here for Western Sydney. I was going to say Costa didn't quite get it on the full, but I was going to say, Vinny Leah, if you've scored that, son, there is nothing you can do wrong here today. We've got another corner. It has been all Phoenix. It has been all yellow fever throughout this first half. And can we add, I was going to say, another one right on the stroke of half-time, just to put the nail in the coffin, you would have to say. It is already possibly in there as we head to half-time. 3-0 in the semi-final. And as I said, potentially no way back here for Western Sydney. Probably, well, I don't want to say probably, but very possibly going to be an all A-League final, as Adelaide United currently up 1-0 as well. So we're doing it easy at the moment here, but we can't slack off in the second half. And I must say, even just playing online and, playing Ultimate Team, is that when I'm in a situation like this, I get up, I guess, you start to relax. You're like, yep, we're up 3-0. We don't need to, not that we don't need to keep playing, but, you do slacken off. The intensity drops because you do obviously have that 3-goal buffer. So probably expect a couple of goals either way in the second half, because either Western Sydney are going to come out fired up, or we're going to go and put the game absolutely once and for all to bed with a fourth goal. So we just need to make sure that we don't, as I said, do anything silly. We don't need to play it out from the back like we did just there, especially with the momentum that we have at the moment, I would say. Even though talking about momentum, I'd have to say that Western Sydney probably do have it in the second half to date so far, but we'll be looking to go and just probably slow things down. We are already through, about an hour, so only half an hour of football left to go. And it did take us less than half an hour, obviously, to score those 3 goals. And it is something that, you can't take for granted. You go back and think of that Champions League final between AC Milan and Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool down 3-0 at the break, coming back, and I believe winning it on penalties. So, 3-0, if you can do it in one half, the other team can do it in a half as well. So, you just need to make sure, as I said, that you don't slacken off. Good ball from Barbarosis, good hunting there from Parkhouse, and that will be, as I said, another corner. And as we can see, Vinny Leah, handful to defenders. That is definitely right. Conversion rate of 50%, 4 shots, 2 goals, 3 on target. So you can't really ask for too much more than that from the... Oh, God. Oh, he kept it in. Well done, Parkhouse. I was going to say, you can't expect too much more, from a guy who's playing holding midfield as well. He's not playing an attacking role. He is actually the guy who is sitting pretty much in front of the back four. So, I was going to say, he's looking for his hat-trick. He's hungry for that hat-trick, boys, and he wants that. Robbie Cornthwaite, who was actually on the ball there, he was a bit of... No, there was a bit of controversy regarding him in the Western Derby. I think he went in for an absolute terrible tackle, which resulted in all the players getting in, not getting involved, but a bit of a push and shove, which is something that, you don't often see. And I guess that's, that's the way that Western Sydney play, and it's the way their fans play. They're just one of those teams that, try and rile you and try and get under your skin. And more often than not, it does work. Obviously, very boisterous fans. I believe they have been, I don't want to say banned, but I think there's been some sanctions placed against Western Sydney due to their fans. Obviously, all the flares. I think some fighting, aggression. It's obviously not the nicest place to be. Would be at Parramatta Stadium, especially as an away fan. I'd have to say, especially if Western Sydney aren't doing too well. I can just imagine on. I was going to say Topor Stanley was very far back. Just can't get that 4th goal. Just can't get that nail in the coffin. Not that it matters. I mean, we have been dominant. Western City did start off well in the... How's that not a foul? I was going to say they started off very well in the start of the second half, but have foiled away just a little bit, and it has once again been all Wellington. As you'd expect, this is what we want to see. We want to see these big results, these big wins against, our continental rivals, I guess you'd say. Vinny Leah, he is hungry for that hat-trick, boys. I don't think he's ever scored a brace in his career, let alone a hat-trick. So he is hungry for that. He's got a couple. He's one of those guys that just does not score goals for you. He is just not a goal scorer. Normally plays, as I said, that holding role in front of the back four, back three, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, doesn't often get forward. He's got forward in this game here and has been very dangerous, as we have seen. So Barbarossa's with a nice turn, but fires it straight in to the Western Sydney defender. Thought the referee potentially was going to blow for full time there, but not the case. I can't imagine it being too far away. Wellington Phoenix are heading into the final, either going to be Adelaide or I think one of the teams we actually played in group play in the final. But we head there anyway. It is a very good result for this young Wellington Phoenix side and this young manager that we have had so far. 3-0, absolutely dominant in that first half an hour. And since then did sit back a little bit and basically just waited on the result. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. The finals of Cliffy's Champions League. The grand final. Who's going to take it out? You guys have to tune in. Make sure you do not miss that.